She would take pictures of herself in a bikini and upload them to her lonely male followers on social media. Then, Angel Reese would turn around and complain about being over-sexualized. Lonely men keep telling me to take more clothes off. It's so unfair! This week, Angel Reese, I guess, decided to take a step further.
I've faced so much backlash, death threats, and harassment, especially the sexualization that's constantly thrown my way. Meanwhile, she's uploading photos of herself in bikinis for her lonely male followers on social media.
Like you got no time. You literally got a bra on and booty shorts on with your booty cheek hanging out the bottom of it. Like, why?
I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and like not be there for them. So
then Angel Reese turns around and complains about being sexualized. These same lonely men keep urging me to take off more clothes. It's incredibly frustrating. This week, Angel Reese took things even further. After talking about how unfair it is for her to be sexualized in the media, guess what happened right after the Fever destroyed the Sky by 27 points at the United Center? She immediately posted thirst traps on social media.
I have yet to see a single example of Angel Reese being a leader. Outside of rebounding her own missed layups, what does Angel Reese do? What is her contribution? You tell me, because I'm not seeing it. I know I'm harsh on Angel Reese, but she considers herself a star. If you're going to call yourself a star, I expect you to perform like a star, especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured. Angel Reese was the only star on the court last night, and for 27 minutes, she completely disappeared.
Just like clockwork. This is the same player who constantly complains about the attention she receives off the court, yet can't seem to make simple layups when it actually matters. The hypocrisy is glaring, and karma came quickly in front of a packed crowd. If you're waiting for Reese's next blooper, drop a "fire the baby giraffe" in the comments. Look, she literally wore a bra and booty shorts.
Well, there's a lot of reaction coming in from last night's drubbing, destruction, annihilation, cremation, whatever you want to call it, roasting, sauteed, whatever your form of cooking may be. But the Indiana Fever absolutely dismantled the Chicago's
with her cheeks hanging out the bottom. How is this okay? I don't understand how I'm supposed to remain silent just because I've dealt with so much negativity. I've been attacked, threatened, and sexualized, and every time I stand strong, I try to support my teammates because I don't want them to see me falter. So picture this.
Trying to be a safety valve, 8 to shoot. Boston this time, working against Reese, pivots, puts it up, and one opportunity. Aaliyah Boston clearing out all the traffic.
The United Center, home of the Chicago Bulls, filled with over 19,000 fans for the first ever WNBA game there. And the Indiana Fever walked into the Sky's house and absolutely crushed them without their 3 biggest stars. No Caitlin Clark, no Sophie Cunningham, no head coach Stephanie White. Just a bunch of hungry players proving they didn't need.
Angel Reese, part 38, let's get it!
Life throws her lemons, she makes bricks.
Bang!
PSA to anyone watching, she is right-handed. Right-handed, by the way. She missed the rim by 3 feet, man.
Bang!
I gotta say, this is my favorite summer sitcom. Pecan? Butter pecan?
Bang!
Here's a stat. She's been blocked 20 times, and she's only made 21 hoops.
What? Bang!
They're stars to embarrass Angel Reese on her own court. I've yet to see an example of Angel Reese being a leader beyond grabbing rebounds and missing layups. What exactly does she contribute? I mean, where is she when it matters? She calls herself A star, but if you want to be a star, you've got to perform like one.
But both teams facing a little bit of adversity, having certain players out or not at full capacity.
McDonald, a huge triple in the corner. Mitchell, patient in the corner, flips it up top. Boston, other side. McDonald, another three. I'm loving it.
Especially in big moments. Caitlin Clark was injured, and Angel Reese was the only supposed star on the court that night. For 27 minutes, she completely vanished. Let's be honest about what went down that night. Everyone thought the Sky would capitalize on the Fever's missing pieces, but Kelsey Mitchell had other plans. She dropped 17 points on 5 of 11 shooting and completely took over the game when it mattered most. Mitchell wasn't just making shots, she was making bold shots that had the United Center crowd in shock. The energy shifted, and Chicago fans realized their team was getting dismantled by Indiana's role players. And don't forget about Lexi Hull, who had herself a game. She knocked down shots from beyond the arc, showing exactly what the Fever needed to stretch Chicago's defense.
There were people in the crowd getting there early saying, "Hey, Caitlin, can you sign my jersey? Hey, Aaliyah, can you sign my shirt? Hey, Sophie, can you sign my picture?" There were people asking for autographs in the Chicago Sky crowd that weren't even born yet the last time the Chicago Sky scored this little amount of points. There were people in the crowd who weren't even a thought in their parents' minds at the time that the Chicago Sky last scored at least 52 points, the lowest point total since 2011.
She even surpassed 500 career points during the second quarter, marking another milestone in what's shaping up to be a breakout season. Aaliyah Boston controlled the paint, making Angel Reese look completely out of place on both ends. Speaking of Reese, this game was painful to watch. She scored just 4 points on 2 of 7 shooting.
Angel Reese gets up, Aaliyah Boston shoves her, gives her a little stiffy. Hey, don't come at Caitlin. But look at her, Angel Reese upset. Oh my gosh. Hey man, this was hilarious. Look, Angel Reese was pissed. Look at her, she was still going out there a little bit. Look, took the jersey out. What's going on?
Which works out to a brutal 28.6% from the field. These weren't difficult shots, just layups that even high school players can make in their sleep. She was a -20 for the game, meaning the Sky got outscored by 20 points every time she was on the court. Her teammates could only watch as she clanked shot after shot while the Fever pulled away. Let's not forget this funny little stat.
I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were cool, but I don't know, man. The way Angel got up, she was like, Look at her. Ooh. I mean, she was getting after it, fam. Oh my goodness. Now, the funny thing was Caitlin Clark sniffing, walking away. Hold on, let me see if I can get a good angle. Oh yeah, look. Watch Caitlin Clark's face right here. Watch this.
Angel Reese has been blocked 20 times and only made 21 shots. Natasha Howard added 13 solid points, and Ari McDonald, who just signed a hardship contract, came in and dropped 12 points with 4 steals. McDonald looked more comfortable in her first game with the Fever than Reese did in her own building. The crowd started leaving before the fourth quarter even ended. Chicago fans paid good money to watch their team in the biggest arena in the city, only to witness an utter destruction. Some fans were even asking Caitlin Clark for autographs during warm-ups, which tells you where the real star power was that night. It wasn't just a loss for the Sky, it was a complete breakdown of everything they thought they knew about basketball. The Fever's role players outworked, outshot, and outplayed Chicago's supposed stars without breaking a sweat. When the final buzzer sounded on the 27-point massacre, it sent a clear message about which franchise had its priorities straight and which one was still trying to figure out the difference between basketball and social media drama. What's even more embarrassing for Angel Reese and the Sky is that this wasn't even their worst loss to Indiana this season. Back on May 17th, they got crushed by 35 points in a 93-58 blowout. That loss made this recent game seem almost competitive in comparison.
The Engelbert, no space for hate, but you got your players putting this kind of stuff out and you expect people to not be critical of it. That's what you expect. It's not going to happen. Your players in your league are going to get criticized. I've said I think she'll be out of basketball in 2 to 3 years because she wants to be a podcaster, wants to be a social media influencer, doesn't really want to be a basketball player. If she does, she might play in Unrivaled, but not the WNBA. Her game seems to be more suited for that.
Now, let's go back to that May afternoon when Angel Reese thought she could intimidate Caitlin Clark with physical play. There was a lot of pushing, talking, and trying to establish her presence, but she forgot to focus on what actually mattered: scoring. Her shooting that day was a painful 2 of 7 for just 12 points. She grabbed 17 rebounds, but most of them came from her own missed shots, not from any defensive efforts. While Reese tried to make it about drama and physicality, the Fever just focused on playing smart, efficient basketball. Here's the reality. Angel Reese needs to take that embarrassing 35-point loss as motivation to improve her game. But did she? Based on her actions, it seems like she spent more time planning social media posts than improving her shooting technique. The Sky went from a 35-point loss to a 27-point loss.
Clark, she's been heavily scrutinized over the last, 2 or 3 years? I can't think of one time that Caitlin Clark embarrassed herself or the league. Seeing Caitlin Clark on social media twerking with Machine Gun Kelly. I have never seen Steph Curry publicly embarrass himself or the NBA.
But that still shows their inability to compete with the Fever, who weren't even at full strength. Angel Reese should have used that humiliation as fuel to get better, to study film and work on her game. But the evidence suggests she was more focused on creating content for social media than improving as a basketball player. When you're spending time making thirst traps and managing drama on social media,
Angel Reese wants to shake her ass and seek validation from lonely men. Fine. But I think what Angel Reese really wants, and this is just me speculating, I don't know her, but I think what Angel Reese really wants is to be respected. Kinda hard to earn respect when you're exploiting yourself on social media. Even though most people don't consider Angel Reese to be the face of the league, she does. If you're the face of the league, that comes with certain expectations, responsibility.
You're not in the gym working on your skills. The pattern is clear. 2 games against the Fever, 2 massive losses, and Angel Reese at the center of both. While the Fever were developing team chemistry and building depth,
but in outfit, Angel Reese was rocking. She put a lot of time, a lot of effort into making sure her ensemble was on point. Are my boots matching my jacket? Are my gloves matching my hat? Angel Reese put in tons of time for this outfit, which begs the question, does Angel Reese put in more time in her outfits for the pre-game catwalk, or does she put in more time to actually get better at the game of basketball?
Reese was concerned with everything but basketball. Fans began questioning her priorities when she would complain about being sexualized, only to post content that sexualized herself right afterward. The contradiction was impossible to ignore. Then, just days after complaining about being unfairly sexualized, Angel Reese posted a video of herself twerking with rapper Sexy Y Red, nothing to do with basketball. The internet erupted with confusion, pointing out the obvious contradiction. Fans couldn't figure out if she wanted to be respected for her basketball skills or if she was just seeking attention. Her posts aren't just casual stories that disappear. They're full-on productions designed to grab attention. This is the kind of content that leads to criticism. And let's be honest, it's not setting a good example for young fans who look up to her. While other players like Lexi Hull and Aaliyah Boston focus on basketball highlights, team moments, and supporting their teammates, Reese seems more focused on generating controversy. Even Caitlin Clark, despite facing scrutiny, has never embarrassed herself like this. Clark keeps the focus on her basketball, building a massive following with consistency in both her words and actions. Angel Reese has made a name for herself, but not always for the right reasons. If she truly wants to be respected as the face of the league, she needs to make sure her actions align with her words. Otherwise, fans will continue to question her priorities. When you spend more time planning your social media content than practicing your layups, it's hard to maintain the credibility of a professional athlete. And unfortunately for Angel Reese, the basketball gods seem to have delivered a response through those 2 blowout losses to the Fever, proving exactly where her focus lies.